Well, here we are at Alelion Energy Systems, and this time we're talking to Darren Harkin, who is part of our latest series of recruits, started July, August, and now working here at Alelion. So, Darren, welcome.
Thank you.
How did you come to apply for this placement?
I was specifically looking for a placement which was not your standard one. So I was aiming towards moving out of the country to embrace another culture, hopefully improve my language skills and just meet more interesting.
And did you apply for several placements abroad?
No.
So this one came up and you thought that's
I only
the one
applied for 3 placements because I was very fussy about what I wanted. I'm interested in battery technology and power electronics specifically. So I applied for Cummins Ford in their EV.
Cummins, famous engine and generator manufacturer, I think.
Yes, absolutely right. But they're interested now in like electronic stuff. And then I saw this, and it ticked every single box, every box. And that's what I do now. I do everything from working with industrial batteries to three-phase grid electricity here in Germany. So you get to work with serious power very quickly.
Sounds to me, if you make a mistake, there's maybe a loud bang.
Yeah, don't do that. don't
So
do
you're
that.
following your passion.
Yes,
That is
absolutely. Yeah.
So the job description, the publicity, the videos, that enabled you to think, yeah, this is the one for me. How was the selection process?
Because during the selection process, you get to speak directly with the team here via Skype, and in no way is it in really like an interview type format, in the sense that it's not like you sit down and they go, right, interview begins, and then at the end they go, interview ends, and then they stay quiet or anything like that. It really is informal. They ask you questions, but you ask them questions.
Right.
And it is answered in the most detail in which that you could want. Really.
So it sounds to me as if you hadn't been offered the job, you probably would have been quite disappointed.
Yeah, fairly. I work with great people.
So if someone's watching this now thinking, well, this looks like it might be for me, any hints or tips you'd share with them?
I would say it's very important to be quite a creative person in your engineering. My background is electrical and electronic engineering, but I would say that it's quite paramount to be open to learning things which are slightly outside of your area to become more of an engineer that is able to do not just their principles. So I do things from working with power tools, which is not your typical electrical engineer, electronic engineer background.
Yeah, you're very much more electrical than you are electronic.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do like both, and you get the opportunity to exercise both electrical and electronic, and also programming.
Right.
Now, I don't come from a background of programming. Out of the job description, it's the only thing which kind of worried me about is it said that you would want to embrace maybe Bash script and things like that, and I was like, I don't know any of that. But when you get here, you learn at your own pace, and if you want to learn programming, you don't have to, but things get a bit more exciting when you're able to control your own hardware.
Right.
And here, there's no pressure on you to learn that, but it will greatly benefit you when you finish your internship. So, like me personally, I went on Amazon, bought a book, sat there at my desk here, and I said to my supervisor, I want to learn a bit of programming, and she said, no problem, if you've got any questions you ask me, and I sat there with a book and on a Linux machine, and it's...
I can feel your enthusiasm for taking on new things. So if you're looking over the next 2 or 3 years, obviously you're here until middle of 2019, then you've got another year to do at university.
Yes.
Looking beyond that, what do you hope to do?
I'm gathering as much knowledge as I can here in order to eventually develop my own product.
Yeah. Right.
So
you see yourself as an entrepreneur doing a startup or something like that?
Yeah. And I joined this company because essentially it came from a startup background. And that was another thing that really got me interested in, because it's the people that work here, they're not corporate. So they're incredibly laid back in the sense that they all were like, it started with an idea. And that idea developed into everything that you see.
Yeah.
I was greatly interested in that.
And how about Munich and life in Bavaria?
Life in Bavaria, different to what you're used to in the UK, but in no way negative. In no way negative. It's just things that are done differently over here. There are plenty of things to do in Munich.
And so what are your favourite things that you do in Munich?
What I do?
Yeah.
I like beer.
Okay, well, beer is definitely
and
a
if you
strong
enjoy
point,
your beer, then you come to Munich.
Yeah, purity and varieties of beers is a very strong point.
Yes, and it's the social aspect of it as well. If the weather allows it, and sometimes even if it doesn't, you socialise outside, and the locals are in no way not used to foreigners, because you're not the only one here. I can't stress that you are not the only English person here. There's not a lot of us, but you're not alone.
Okay.
And you will very quickly feel at home here in Munich. It helps if you know a little bit of German, but I know no German.
Yeah, how are you getting on? You got a bit of German now?
I can ask for pretzels.
And beer, I guess.
Yeah, it's very similar. I can do that. I can say sorry when I step on someone's foot, but I use phone apps to learn the language, and it's very satisfying when you say something in German and someone understands it and they respond.
Could you imagine
cool.
yourself working here in the future, long term?
Yes, I could. But also, once you get here, a passion for maybe trying somewhere else in Europe grows within you.
Right.
I would happily work here in the future. But if an opportunity was to come up somewhere else in Germany, or maybe somewhere else in another European country, I would jump at it, because how can I put it? Every morning when you wake up here in Munich, you know that you're in Munich, and it's not just... You're really bored. You're really bored. Yeah.
Darren, congratulations on getting the placement.
Thank you.
It's lovely to feel your enthusiasm. Hope it goes really well, and thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.